Ewan, this is a role with a lot of baggage. I mean, there are a lot of people who bring their ideas of what Jesus should look like on screen. How daunting was that for you?
Well, it is quite it's quite daunting. It's quite it's too daunting to consider that you're playing Jesus. So, but I just started thinking of him as the film is really about this dynamic between fathers and sons, and if you like, Rodrigo Garcia's chosen the ultimate father and son to explore that relationship. So I started thinking of it like that there's a man who's trying to communicate with his father, and he's he's frustrated because he's not able to communicate with his dad in the way that he wants, in the way that's satisfying enough for him. And I think that's a very universal feeling. I think that's something maybe we can, as a father and also as a son, I can relate to that frustration. So I thought of it more like that, a man, just the man, if you like, as opposed to thinking of him as trying. It's like in a movie, if you try and play the bad guy, you're off to a bad start. But if you try and understand why somebody's doing bad things and play that man, then that's more helpful.
Right.
So it's the opposite of that. Playing a very good man.
So Tye, what kind of preparation did you? I mean, obviously this is set a long time ago. Did you do research, or how did you prepare for this character?
Well, I don't know. Most of the films that I had done previous to this one, it was, they were father and son stories, and I think that may have been why Rodrigo reached out to me for this role. But there's always been something about a father and a son, and no matter what the relationship was, because my relationship with my father he's my best friend, and I feel like I can tell him anything. And some guys don't have that, and I went to a public school, and a lot of the kids, like my best friend, he lives at home with his stepdad. He calls him his dad, but he's been his stepdad since he was 2 years old, and his real dad's not really in the picture. So I guess just being around all of my friends and like seeing different father and son relationships is, I guess I just kind of brought that in, and yeah, me and Ewan both got really long hair for the movie, which we thought was pretty cool. It was quite uncomfortable. They were glued-in hair extensions. So, but cool experience.
In your relatively young career, you've worked with some pretty extraordinary filmmakers in some pretty amazing films like Tree of Life and Mud. I mean, what brought you to this? What drew you to this particular project?
A lot of luck, actually. I kind of fell into this industry when I was 11 years old, working with Terrence Malick, who's one of the best to ever step on a set. And so, very fortunate from the get-go to work with him, and then from there it was just like, it was just like a domino effect, and then 3 years later I did this movie called Mud, and Jeff Nichols directed, and there was a link through a producer, actually, Sarah Green, who had produced Tree of Life. She was producing Jeff Nichols' Mud, and she set me up with a meeting, and it was so odd because at that point in time I was just going to school, and I was living in Texas. I was sending in like self tapes every once in a while, but like totally over the acting thing, ready to just give up. And then this thing came along, and then I get a break right when I need it, So, and I think that happens. A lot of people can relate. A lot of actors and actresses, experience that, I think, and I think. But with this project, it was. Let's see, It was probably, I don't know, maybe I can't remember. I remember Rodrigo sending me the script, and I met him in LA, and he said, we'd love to have you on board. And as soon as I read it, I fell in love with it immediately, and I was super thrilled that these guys were involved, and cast and crew was just phenomenal from top to bottom, and just a really great experience overall.
So, I guess maybe while you're shooting this, you can put out of your head that you're playing Jesus. But the fact is that,
No, I never did that. I didn't. I always was playing Jesus. I just didn't walk on set going, okay, now I'm playing Jesus. Oh Christ. I walked on to play a man, to play the man, And so, but I was never not playing him.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the fact is that films about religion are almost by nature, they attract controversy. There have been, there were big protests over The Last Temptation of Christ, the Martin Scorsese movie. More recently we've seen, just cartoon depictions of Muhammad have caused people to be killed in Paris. Religion is a very touchy subject for art and for film. Do you think, is anything sacred, so to speak? Are there areas we shouldn't be going into?
Well, I don't think there was any element of this script or the making of this film that is in any way disrespectful to people of faith or to the ideas of faith, the ideas of Jesus Christ, or really not. I think if there had been, then I don't know that we would have been so passionate about making it. The story is not in the Bible. The story is invented. Rodrigo Garcia invented a story and uses Jesus in this period of time when he's wandering in the desert to explore the relationship of fathers and sons. And that in itself might upset some people, the fact that it's not, we're showing Jesus in a story that's not written in any of the scriptures, but it didn't upset me, and I don't project that it would upset anybody. So.